Good morning, gentlemen. We are doing a rewatch today of last night's games. So we're gonna go. I'm on slow mode right now, but we'll pick it up. I was the Indians. You can see I was at 51, 51, and 89, but I had another 20 coming. I averaged between 80 and 100 dudes because I just ended up leading these guys later and building more of the trade cards. So that was me. My pocket was Varzy. Varzy's sitting at 69, 60, and 48 with a minute left in treaty drop. That is a pretty area. I'm not sure how I feel about this house wall. Like, it's good, but also at the same time, we're funneling our trade, but I know he wants the trade to go this way. He wants it to go from here to here while I'm doing it from here to here. Just felt like it was a little farther. He's working on it. He figures it out. Then in our middle, we've got Jake McKee. Oh, Varzy is the, what are you, Varzy? You're the Spanish. I believe that Jake is the Rootin' Tunes. He likes them. Rootin' Tunes. And we see he's at 38, 95, and 24 with a bunch of trade cards still coming. So he's got a bunch getting going there. And then Joel is the Byzantines. And he's sitting at 52, 33, 41, and he's still building, still getting going, getting things going. On the other side, we've got Austin as the Spanish, sitting at 26, 72, and 12. Looks like he's kind of in a transition mode at this point, but, he's getting going. Then the blue is Spencer Williams, sitting at 83, 47, 36. Kind of similar to Jake. Less gold, but the gold's coming. He's got 20 coming up. And then, of course, Taylor Stevens, sitting at 100 on wood and 63 on food. He needs to invert those. He needs 100 on food and 63 on wood, and he doesn't need that much gold. In my personal opinion, that's how I play the GOTS, but everyone's allowed their own thing. I sound judgy there. Also, this is all that's keeping them from getting down here with trade, which would be a significant, if you look at over here, this is a significant trade difference than our trade, which is here, or also over here. So that would have been big, but it didn't happen, so it's fine. When we look at the fronts, we've got Austin walled off a little bit. Taylor's cutting over. Oh, I forgot Travis. Travis, you're important. I'm sorry. Travis is at 25, 54, and 23 with a bunch of dudes getting built, and he's got another 30 trade cards, so he's getting his trade going slow. And we gave them the time. We still know his treaty's up, and treaty has, and we have not really started going yet. So we're gonna actually kick it up. And do I go triple speed or do I go normal speed? Oh. I'm gonna go normal speed because a lot's going on, but if you guys have any feedback on that, whether you would prefer a triple speed with less details, let me know. Because I could always do triple speeds with less details in the future if you wanted those. Sometimes their arrows would flash for us, sometimes they would. But, it is what it is. So I'm ready to go, as we see. Joel's kind of ready to go. Varzy's got troops. No one's cutting. It's like, I didn't factor in cutting. I figured that Taylor would be cutting, is what I figured. But then Taylor didn't cut. So I was hoping that Austin would hit some of this while trying to kill my guys. That's why I put in the corner there. So please hit it. But it didn't happen. Dude. But it doesn't matter because Travis is like, let's freaking go! Leroy Jenkins! So, Travis Leroy Jenkins, the crap out of this thing. Getting going. Just flies in. We got Spencer's here with the Honor. Spencer's pulling this rocket, man. That's what we want. You see Travis trying to do a mini punch. Also, we've got one layer of walls, and then it's not there yet, but we're gonna have another layer of walls. Just kind of going. And I almost exclusively build hand cannoneers and cannons this game. That's pretty much all I build. And it's just a 1-2 punch. I figure Taylor's the dots and Spencer's the Teutons, and so if we want to win, that's the way to do it. I want to see these traps sitting on the mountain. Let's see where Taylor's at. So, yeah, Taylor's also sitting on the mountain too. And then even bigger mountain with oh crap, man. I never had resources like that. Never. Joel's here. I'm starting to bring the Trevs, brings up Austin's stuff. We're going to take those out. Taylor here is starting to clear out some stuff just so I can get more space so I can put the Trevs up in here. And Spencer has shown up. We are just eating these Teutonic Knights. So the initial push, they push into here, and then like a YOLO, whatever. On the other side, there's that. Now, at some point, Barzy is going to, he's farming all this out because he wants a longer trade. He's going to delete this at one point. And that is probably our scariest point. Oh yeah, Jake, these should be deleted. This is the defensive lake that we wanted. Not this lake. But whatever, it's fine. But we're moving forward. You see that Joel's up here. I'm starting to move forward. These things were clutch. The tower usage on our side was really big. It bought us a lot of time that we needed in this game. I get these camels. I keep thinking that the orange is that Jake is the enemy. And so we'll see it a couple of times that the camels will just go at him. And that's what they'll go, oh no, kill them! And that's what we'll do. Oh, these castles are the strongest castles in the game. They have the best range, and they just hit. It's one of the things that I love about Teutons. They're really hard to get to. Especially because my super kill unit is the cannons, which their weakness is arrows. But Travis is just slinging. He's just slinging troops the best he can. You see, he's got camels. I don't know why he's doing the heavy camel area. There's no. I mean, there's some. I guess that there's those, but Travis is intense. Like, where the only thing that your cavalry is going to be good against is the siege here. I mean, kind of the hand cannoneers, I guess, but your archer or for the price tag, you might as well build knights because they'll do better. Look at all of this stuff, though. They're just throwing everything they can out. I'm trying to kill this thing because it's gonna kill it. Save the towers! Save them! Holding so well. Here. On the side, nothing has changed yet. Barzy built this, which means that this is gonna get deleted here very soon. And that's, we're gonna see, we'll run out of money. Because if you look, I am spending every bit of gold that I can, and pretty much the same with the food. I drop and they get in. Food drops, and it's not good for holding. I lost him. Austin's at 46 and 63, and he's building more villagers. He's still getting going. So we're moving forward. So we think we're flexing at this point. We got it! Keep going, boys! Let's bring down all of the camels to try and kill all the Trebs. Okay, so we're taking out castles, which is 1. And Barzy deletes this. Boom. So all of our trade stops right in the middle of a push. And, like, let me look. I might have gold. So I got a little bit of gold. Jake's got a little bit of gold. So we're gonna maintain for a little bit, but it's bad, right? Like Joel's already out of gold, and he has no trade because everyone's trading with that one spot. Barzy's rich though, so he's able to spot us. I'm going back to offside. I kind of like watching what's going on here. These kinds of X factor for the same team. Trying to hold as best we can. You see that they have kept cutting down. Oh, at one point Barzy found some like link in the inside here. He just sent a thing like all the way down. Right there. What's going on over here? Oh, they're just watching, I guess. They may have been thinking about cutting. Jake got tired of this front, so Jake decides to cut. I don't know that I like. I guess it's a change of the narrative, but we kept winning on this side, so I don't think we needed to cut. Like we were winning fights up until Jake and I needed to be together because we covered each other's weaknesses really well. But you know, go rogue and let's get wild. You know. But we see that Spencer's digging in, Austin's digging in. Meanwhile, Barzy's trying to get all funky over here. Cut all the way to the corner. That was funky. And they start strong flexing. And Austin's sitting on a mountain of stuff. Like, what are we doing here, Austin? He's building, he's trying to dig in, is what he's trying to do. Jake's getting in, Jake's playing like a monster over here. He's just killing it. Meanwhile, in the middle, they've pushed, you know, we got up to right in here, they've pushed us back to right here now. Kind of the range. I'm trying to like, save them! Save the towers! The towers were so big, it just keeping us alive. We see that Taylor had a similar idea as what Jake had. They were both thinking the same thing. I'm gonna cut around and surprise them. Little did they know they were both going for each other. And we're holding. Taylor's here, Travis is here. Travis is really utilizing his trebuchet very well. But he's just playing a weird Byzantine game. It just doesn't feel like the sort of troop mix that I want to see from the fight. Like, why are we prioritizing the heavy cannons? I don't understand the heavy cannons. It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, I'd love some clarity on that instead of paladins. I don't know why you choose heavy cannons over paladins, other than price, but you get so much more bang for your buck with a paladin. So to me, that's like a no-brainer, especially in a fight like this where a paladin's going to do really well against an 8-man. The camel's going to do really well. You're lucky to get a 1-for-1. Okay, so Taylor gets in. Boom. New fight. Joel is fighting for his life. We got our trade right freaking here. Luckily, Travis did, or he didn't. Barzy didn't delete this one because, you know, great. Okay, so Taylor is coming in over here, and he's got a free shot. I need to turn on military view. Taylor's going. We're just holding still, trying to flex. And Taylor is in. This is one of the things that I don't like about the Goths. I find that when I get in as the Goths, I don't... Halberdiers are not the raiding that I think. Like, they're gonna do okay in here, but cavalry is a better thing. Meanwhile, Jake is kind of seeing a 2v1 over here, and just trying to stay alive as best he can. I'm kind of on my own with Joel and Barzy both supporting. Am I gonna punch here? Meanwhile, they have clogged that hole, and Joel is now assigned the task of carry the south, because Taylor's here and he's here to stay. It's crazy that the trade's just like right here. You see Jake is still pressing on with fervor. On the other side, we're trying to hold this guy. He's got crazy. So we see Jake is still pushing, but now Spencer's kind of rolling. How many has he? He's got one. Oh, so he's sending from the front? Dude, this is taking forever. You ought to put a gate in at least. Holy cow. Oh my gosh, that's taking forever to get there. Travis, meanwhile, is trying to build some archery ranges. It's entertaining. On the south, what the junk? What are you doing, Taylor? He's bringing in these guys, the monsters. I feel like I'm watching a scene from Lord of the Rings with the Rams. And they're like, bring him down! And he's just gonna pound his way through. On the other side, we've taken on these guys, which is good because I don't want him to have skirmishers. That would not be good for me. And now Jake and Taylor have, or not Jake, Taylor's starting to lose up the corridor, Austin is turning, and Spencer's left. They are going to cut through right in here, and they should have stayed here. This is my big critique of I think the game could have potentially gone a different direction with them cutting here and continuing on here and into here. This game is painful. Meanwhile, Taylor in the south, Bargy and Joel are just trying to plug the hole and fight Taylor to the best of their abilities. So, I plunge some dudes. Boom. This is my first plunge. Which it turns out it's open. My goodness. Okay. So we get in Travis for a minute, and I don't think they realize it. And I go over here, and I hit Taylor, and I'm gonna camp these guys, like, right here, and just leave them forever. Like, these guys are gonna just stay here for a very long time. And they don't do a ton, but they're just kind of chinking off trade. Okay, so Barzy has rallied, kind of, but you can see they're digging in. Meanwhile, I am just trying to hold on for dear Lanta. Come on, Lanta. Joel and Barzy have decided to go up the gut. Go up the gut! Gotta get him! Barzy's trying to go. Taylor's just swarming troops. At some point, I think it was right here or somewhere, Taylor blocked this path on accident. I think I missed it. And I'm sure that it was a big issue for Taylor. Right now, Taylor was talking about how it was a big issue. But I didn't see it. I don't know. It wasn't. Austin Vansquake, the Smasher. I'm trying for my life to hold it. Travis is just leaning and tackling. I do think when Jake and I are working together, that makes it nigh impossible to beat. So, Joel now has swarmed hand cannoneers, which that's the anti-Goth. Get those hand cannoneers, get some champions in front of them. Holy cow, we will just destroy them! Meanwhile, I'm still holding. You can see that they have pushed us back. We no longer have any tower defense in the car. And here comes Travis, that son of a bee. Okay, what are you guys gonna do? I need to see your hard work. Can you see that? Yeah, so they can see that there's a hole here. What's gonna happen? Okay, so now we see that. We see that he set his rally point for like right here. Yeah, and so instead of going through the front to behind the front, come right here. Okay, now Spencer cut. Okay, so Spencer cuts. Austin shows up. While he's doing that, we're trying to wall off. We're gonna wall off like right here, and I'm gonna wall off like right over here. Who did we survive? This is the point in the game that I think, because they don't maintain up here. You see that Jake is turned, Barzy is turned. Austin gets in, and Austin just goes crazy. And we hold here. So all of these cavalry that are coming up here, turn them and get them up here and open this up. Boom. It's open. Keep attacking from here. That to me is the biggest of the things. And you see Austin just goes crazy over here. We're gonna look at by the way, you remember those guys? They're still here. So no, they just noticed that. Wow. So, yeah, those guys are in that thing forever. And because that Spencer's down to 40 trade cards. But we see that we've walled off. Austin's still kind of in here. He just swoops around here. But it's not massive per se. And Bar's going to take him out right here. On the other side, we see that Joel is still digging. Taylor's still fighting. Taylor's gotten in down this bottom section here, and they had to wall off. I missed a whole fight. I'm sorry, guys. But we see that Spencer is going. And man, if they had just kept up here, our trade's right here. At least my trade's right here. Meanwhile, Taylor is just hanging out. He's doing a lot at the same time. But, so this has been opened up over here. Trade's right there. Holy crap. And they're in over here. Holy cow. And Jake's holding. Barzy's here. I'm still holding in the middle. Jake's going north. Taylor is on the other side and wrecking. He hasn't gone up this yet, but our trade is right here. And I sent a bunch of hand cannoneers over here. They do literally nothing. Should have sent them over here. Barzy's ability to see multiple places at once. Did they finally get me? So they got a large number of my dudes, but there's these two still in here, or three, I guess. Those guys just never died. Just stayed alive forever. So we see that he's back up. What's Austin? Austin's at 60 wood. We're 7 dudes on wood? Did I go crazy on Austin's wood? I didn't go crazy on Austin's wood. Oh, he must have relocated. That's what it is, he relocated them. So, we're going. I'm just trying to hold. Meanwhile, Taylor is in like Flynn. And Barzy is holding like a mother. Hats off to Jacob Barzy. Joel 1-2 punch. So we see these skirmishers are the anti-tanker. And when Travis is using them, it's very bad for cover. So they're gonna move forward. They're actually gonna take this area right now. While they're taking it. Jake is still trying to fight this throw. On the other side, we see that Joel is going. Where are you flagging, Travis? What's going on? Oh, there's a bunch of troops. He's like, move the troops forward! Mother effers, move the effing troops! So they've now broken through, and they're into production lines. So I'm having to rebuild over here is what's going on. Trying to just survive. And Austin showed up. See, these paladins are wrecking these things. As opposed to the counts. That counts are good against. I mean, I am really counts. So there's that. But Austin is going in, and he is not afraid. And they're just pouring in. We are just losing things left and right. We are getting all in. On the other side, Taylor and Joel are duking it out. Joel's got what are they called? The cataphracts, the anti-infantry unit. Of course he's got the anti-infantry unit. Boom, boom. Have they got in yet? They are not in yet. We are fighting for our lives here in the middle. This feels just like the battle of the bulls. They've overwhelmed on one side. And I've got 3 dudes I'm trying to build up as fast as I can. And cannoneers are barely even doing anything. And Travis has got the trebs. They are just swooping in the middle. They've cut around. Joel is trying to save what little he can. Because Joel's base is next. Meanwhile, Taylor's got a ton of dudes just chilling down here. I don't know what they're doing. Oh, Taylor's trying to cut through that. Okay. But Joel has now pushed forward and is claiming this side. On the other side, they are streaming at this point. Just all of these troops moving. All of them are just tumbling into... A bunch of castles are over here. It's open, they can work around, they can go places. We see that Austin's doing. There's too many options. There's like, what do I go at first? And I'm essentially nullified. I'm now down in this corner trying to let it survive. And they're just pouring troops in. And they got through here, and they are just pouring in. They are saying, we've won. That's what they're saying. But Joel and Barzy on the other side keep pushing. And Taylor's throwing as much troops as he possibly can at it, and they're just eating them. Meanwhile, Austin is here, Barzy is here, Joel is here, and they're just trying to fight for their lives. And it feels like we've kind of taken over here. We've turned things. So I'm sending these guys to go after the siege now. There's so many troops. And somehow, by some miracle, they just sent 1,000,000 troops in, and by somehow, we survived. I have no idea, because that was a mile-long group of troops, and they're still coming. They're still here. Look, they're still getting in. And Barzi's just eating them. And we're getting in and fighting and trying to stop the bleeding. Joel has one job against him, build a gate right here. Build the gate, Joel. Build the gate. Nope, not gonna happen. On the other side, Joel has one down in the south. Holy cow, and Taylor's having to rebuild. You gotta be freaking kidding me, is what I'm thinking. And Jake has shown up here. Joel has saved the day over here, and Joel has saved the day over here. The win goes to Joel. Joel Wright, president. 2024. You want to talk about who deserves an upgrade? I don't deserve that upgrade. Joel deserves the upgrade. Holy cow. So not only does Joel, because, I mean, yeah, Ozzy's there, but this is Joel's win on this side. And they are in. Taking over. On the other side, we see Austin's trying to do some work over here. We're just trying to move forward. They've started to build some towers. We see the Jake walls this on. He's like, crap, this is just a bad spot. Which it was. It was a bad spot, guys. But we kind of held. We've now created a choke point right here. You see the Barzies here. And Joel is just doing terrible things. He keeps moving forward. He's near their trade now. But they have serious forces over here. Moving forward. And Joel is moving towards the trade. Holy cow. So Joel's holding over here. You can see all this purple. It's just wrecking. And Spencer is trying to turtle what he can with the towers as well. Let's see what happens. And I've got a couple of the dudes in here that are just kind of attacking Austin. Austin hates it, and it makes him very angry. Byzantines are very anti-goth. But it looks like Taylor's kind of pushed him out. And Spencer is trying to, ramrod his way up the middle. Someone's got to be in the middle. And why not Spencer? Because Spencer's playing like a champion in this game. What's going on over here too? Maybe he's thinking about cutting. This wall's doing another thing for us, and it's forcing Austin's troops to go all the way around. And it's slowing Austin's production down. But we've now dug in and won a side. And Jake's keeps building towers. Meanwhile, I've tried to do another plunge. They're in here. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. You're gonna freak. Maybe, I don't know, they get in. I don't know. Where are you guys gonna go? You're gonna go somewhere. Meanwhile, Joel is still here, and Travis is over here, and Taylor's over here, and everyone is over here trying to survive. At this point, the fight is becoming it's such a swing game, 1 minute they're in, the next minute we're in. Just crazy. So I'm just putting all my dudes inside of this, and it's just like that, so. And Austin is spending troops as fast as he can. Just kind of going. Meanwhile, Joel's got him occupied. Ugh. And Spencer is digging in. Now we just see little camels that are just kind of going crazy, trying to stay away from arrows. Here goes another right here, plunging. So they come back in and oh no! It's gone! My spot's gone! Oh hello! But they turn their captain. Meanwhile, we see that now Barzy is definitely on his side. We're actually kind of connecting there. Joel's going around. Barzy's building military buildings under here. The fight is now feels like it could be won. We'll see. Austin's tried to cut through over here. We don't want to turn. We don't have to. I'm trying to cut, just find places that I can cut. And Joel's moving forward. Travis has sent troops. So they got in and yeah, they got in and killed these markets here. On the other side, we are holding. At this point, Joel gets in it with another bunch. Joel, the game ender. The win goes to Joel. I feel like both teams played great. Man, when they were pushing from along this bottom line, it was a solid push. I think that if they kept going on this top line, I think that Joel was more equipped for handling an intrusion than I was. Which is all I would say. Both teams played great. Come on, guys. And now I got troops in Austin's base just going away. And Joel is now flogging Taylor. Right here. It's just, this area is mine now. I want it. It is mine. And they're all going to quit right now. What a crazy game, guys. GG. So, when we look at scores, one score stands above the rest, and that would be Jake McKean's with that military score. Anytime you're the heavy siege guy, you just end up killing a ton. Jake killed 6,200. I still feel pretty good with mine with the 4429 without doing siege at all. But definitely hats off to Jake for doing the heavy lifting there. That was awesome. When we look at, just everything was, this was a crazy game. Travis losing 5,500 not as the Gots. Taylor lost 6,600 as the Gots. All of the other team is negative except for Spencer, who's at 4,000. He's almost at 2-1, not quite 2-1. I guess that's it. Barzy with the most food, Jake with the most wood. Of course, Mr. Jake with the wood. Have to go and make it a thing. All right. Spencer with the most stone. He needed it. Who also needed it was Jake. We should have had Jake going for all the stone instead of Barzy. But whatever. Gold collected was myself. And then Travis with that speed guy. Spencer got Imperial fast. That was an early Imperial. That's crazy. Travis, I'd like to point out that I was faster than you at Imperial Age. So, it's all good. We look at relics captured. Barzy had 3. Taylor had 3 as well. Spencer with 12 castles. It's a lot of castles. We were at 2274. Almost everyone was at pop cap right in here. And really this whole section was just a crazy game. This was a crazy game. It was a good time. Both teams should be proud of how well they played, but especially Joel. Joel, your play was key to that win on multiple fronts, and I would give that win to Joel if I was going to give it to one person. I think that Barzy did a really good job of captaining, playing the point guard. And and everyone just played really good. Can't wait for next time. Adios, boys. Peace.